jump on in. Alright. So, welcome back. We've had a week off as we've had some big moments happen, and we're finally reached the end of an arc and going into the next one. So, I've had some time to prepare various things. But, last time, you guys finally made it out of the desert. You met with the dwarves, having rescued a bunch of them, before travelling to attend the council's ball. The party attended the ball, where they met many important people from Kavran, including several monarchs, Arwen in particular getting close to Queen Riedel Muddenbrook, the young gnome queen. They spent time socialising, drinking, dancing and making friends before attending the meeting the following day with various dignitaries and the council. The meeting was long and boring, with many of the scouts they rescued giving similar reports while the council members asked questions. Eventually, the party was called upon to give their reports of Balsam, his castle and surrounding forces. At this point, however, the meeting was interrupted by Balsam in an illusory form. Balsam used the limited knowledge he gathered from Neo to offer the council a deal: surrender, serve him, and supply him with soldiers for his armies. Then Kavran could have peace. Balsam told the assembled leaders his goal was to end the blood war between the Hells and the Abyss, to prevent it from repeatedly spilling over into the material plane, by siding with the devils and freeing his queen. If they did not surrender to him, then he threatened to take every man, woman and child by force and use the undead legions to end the war. He gave the council a 6-month deadline to muster the number of forces he demanded and deliver them to him. After recovering from the panic and the outrage, the council began to plan for war, the various dignitaries returning to their homes to muster their forces. With 6 months to prepare, the party went their separate ways for a while, to prepare individually. Arwen spent time reconnecting with old friends Helga and Gemma in Denderport before travelling to Goldthal, and to spend time working with Matilda, learning Draconic and working on some magical items for the party. In between lessons with Matilda, Arwen also spent time training Hugo, who's gone through a growth spurt, and whose head now reaches Arwen's waist, no longer able to sit upon her shoulders.
He can still try.
He can sit on Stix's shoulders. Stix is beefy.
Sit sort of across the two of you.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Stix spent some time in Rosensen, having his new spear upgraded again by Lord Motsignier, before returning to his tutor, Aramis, and spending time training and learning how to repel undead, turning groups of them away if necessary. Klari travelled to the site of Balsam's release and Neo's rebirth, making links between the architecture there and the ruins on the floating islands of the Shattered Shore, travelling there, exploring travelling and exploring the various ruins spread across the islands. Piecing together the stories told within, Klari learned about the origins of Balsam and Zariel. And so, before we pick things up anew, is there anything else anyone would like to do with their 6 months off? Now you know a little bit more about what everyone else has been up to. Has anyone had any more ideas of things they would like to have been working on?
Yeah, small thing, sell my old armour, +1 leather armour, sell it, don't need it.
Okay, yeah, so you can probably get about 500 gold for that.
500 gold. Sweet. Needed that. And then no. More gardening.
Okay. Nothing from anyone else? Then we will kick things off. as the 6 months is approaching its culmination, you all receive sending spells from your various locations from Regis, the vampire wizard friend of Neo's, who you had previously saved and rescued, and was now residing in your house in Rosenzen.
Oh yeah.
He contacts you all, sending you all a message saying he has been doing some research and has come up with a plan, and he would like the opportunity to explain it to you all, and if you would all meet him at your earliest convenience back in Rosenzen. So you all take a bit of time travelling from your various locations, eventually arriving one by one back into a house in Rosenzen. Chappie is there as usual, helping prepare food and things like that for you all, keeping the house clean and fresh. He and Regis have settled into a comfortable and jovial relationship.
I'm immediately furious. Guys, I left the place, I went to some farms and did some, druidic shit. Come back and you guys are fucked off. 6 months I couldn't find any of you. What the fuck happened?
Would any of you like to respond?
Nah.
Did you not
I feel like
discuss this?
Klari and Arwen absolutely had a conversation on the way to our first destinations, because we went there together. We were like, okay, I'm gonna go do this. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We can have a little catch up over a cup of tea, and then yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's exactly what's happened. They just forgot to tell. Both of them thought that the other
where has he been?
And I just come fucking start to think you guys are dead or gone. I figured I'd probably find you at some point, but I can't send shit. You guys have got the fucking sending rings. What the fuck? Spent 6 months non-stop trying to find you all. It's been awful. I've been to hell, went to heaven, went to worlds unknown and far seen to try and find you all. No, not quite. I'm just kidding. I haven't actually been to hell or heaven or really anywhere to try and find you. But
so you didn't even try and find us?
A note would have. Well, I did, briefly, but then I kind of figured, well, there's, I don't know. I feel like if either of you guys died, I'd probably hear about it. So.
Question 6.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it actually take you to realise you were gone?
Admittedly, it was a little longer than I realized, because I left the meeting and did some druid shit, and then I sort of got back and you guys weren't there, and I was like, okay, they're probably going to get food or do something like that, and I waited around Genevieve's house just long enough for it to get a little bit weird. And then I found that, and then she came back from wherever she was, and she told me that you guys had left, and I was like, oh, well, fucking thanks. That's my piece done. Come and see the garden. It's beautiful. And we go outside and we all squeeze into the 5-foot square of garden that's actually left to stand in, because I've covered the rest of it in flowers.
And it does look beautiful. There's
Behold
tiered
my
beds
creation.
and flowers and sort of large creeping vines covering all the wooden frames and things.
But the further back it gets, the more wild and untamed it is, because I can't reach that stuff anymore. I just sort of keep it alive with plant growth and stuff. So I'm kind of just it'll be fine.
It's slightly impractical, but it's very pretty.
Thank you. And then out from like underneath like a massive bed of flowers, just Elvis's head just.
Adorable.
I didn't bury him. This is just his bed now.
Yeah, Elvis like steps out of the flowers and just like shakes himself. A number of leaves fall off, and you're like, "Are those Elvis leaves?" And you're like, "Oh no, they're just leaves from other things. It's fine."
And then Hugo's head
It turns out
of another section of the flowers.
And then dips down. And then jumps up. And then dips down. Yeah, turns out in the Feywild they take the phrase "bed of flowers" very literally. He likes to sleep out here now. So.
Yeah, you notice off to one side there is a patch of flowers that looks very forlorn. They are still alive. Stix is doing his best to keep them alive, but they are perpetually squished. There's just a little sort of like bowl-shaped indent where Elvis curls up.
Yeah. And then I imagine we all have our lovely catch-up explaining all the crap we've done over the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Show off my fancy spear.
Yeah. Klari, you came from the furthest away. You would have had the longest to travel. You would have spent the most time on the roads, toing and froing with various people, potentially travelling alongside other groups and things like that. You would probably, as well, with your high perception and high intelligence, have picked up on only very recently overheard snatches of conversation and things like that of a few stories of devils or demons being spotted, but very sort of rumour-like. People sort of skeptically referring to the tale of, oh, did you hear that, such and such's farmer's cattle was killed by some beast? And it's like, yes, he's saying it was some sort of demon attack. It's like, oh, well, what he's like, always in his cups, doesn't know one, a wolf from a hellhound. And so, but you would have noticed that there were a handful of these rumours that you would have heard on your travels and overheard that would have brought enough attention to have it stick in your mind. Also, on your return journey, you would have been asleep one night and you would have received a vision again, like Arwen did, from Neo. You would find yourself standing on a familiar sort of looking cliff, looking out over part of Kavran, with Neo standing beside you, looking as he did before he was taken over and before his transformation, just looking like regular Neo, greeting you, with a smile and a hug. And it's good to see you again, Klari. We can speak freely here. I've managed to use some of his powers to be able to almost sneak out while he sleeps, while he's unaware, to give you guys warnings at times. You all need to be careful. He's planning on sending some people called the twins, is all that he refers to them as the twins, after you all. He knows you all have Belladonna and where you're keeping her in that jar. You need to be careful. Their mission is to free her again.
Oh yeah. Whoops. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Well, that's fun.
Thank you for the warning.
It's okay. I try to. I've managed to reach out to Arwen once as well, but I'm not Not sure how often I'll be able to do this. If I do it too often, he might sense something. But stay safe.
You too, Neo.
And so on your return journey, you receive this warning dream vision from Neo. So, but you've all successfully made it to Rosenzen unscathed from your various adventures. Arwen, would you have invited Matilda to come with you, or would you have left her wherever her tower was located at this point in time and travelled on your own?
Probably asked if she wanted to come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know she can only move at a certain amount of time. Like, it takes a lot of effort to move her.
Yeah.
But if she wants to put it in the back garden on top of all of Stix's flowers.
The garden, I'd say, would be too small for her cottage to fit in.
That bitch better not.
But she would. Sorry, go on.
Could she be next door?
There's not really space within the city for a new building to just spring up.
It doesn't. The street. It can be 2 cul-de-sacs instead.
And yeah, she hasn't got the. She hasn't got the precision to pinpoint land on a location like that. But she'd be willing to travel, and she would settle for outside the city limits as a safe target.
Okay.
Yeah, coming up, a short ways away from the river. So fortunately for you, you don't have to travel too far, and she has attended with you.
How exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever meet her? I don't think I did.
No, you didn't. Matilda is a red dragonborn wizard who Arwen met a long time ago when she was Arwen, do you want to tell it? Do you want to introduce Matilda to your companions?
Matilda's a scientist. She makes cool things sometimes. She's not in earshot, right? She's parking a cottage. Yeah?
Sure. We'll say she'll be turning up shortly.
She's
outside. You just like
beep. She's a bit ditzy, a bit clumsy, but she's a good egg. And yeah.
I see.
Anything I missed?
No, it's up to you what you want to share.
Nice.
Yes.
I confess, I've been imagining Matilda. I don't know why I've been imagining her as a dwarf or someone really small.
I've been imagining her as a witch.
Yeah, I've been imagining her as like a dwarven witch or a gnomish witch or something.
Yeah. So yes. So at some point this red
surprised to be sure.
Ditzy red dragonborn wizard will make an appearance. But yes, so Regis has invited you all because he's been doing a lot of studying and a lot of investigating, and he thinks he's come up with a plan. So he takes you all into what used to be the laboratory / library, and settles himself before you. You can see things have changed quite a lot. The bookshelves have been moved around, the desks have been moved around. He certainly made this place his own. There have been several additions. You can see there are more books than there were previously. A lot of the old research and things has been piled away. You can see there's sort of a large open top crate in one corner where it's just all been stacked, and there's various notes and things like that pinned to the wall, books left open to specific pages on desks and things where he's been looking into it. He turns to you all and he says, I have been looking into everything that where to begin, I guess. So I've spent some time traveling after getting myself acquainted here, and thank you very much once more for allowing me to settle into your home. I spent some time traveling, revisiting the hideaways of several wizards I knew a long time ago. Eluthia, Serefent, Castor Ignito, and Uldric Wilderforce, amongst a few. Unfortunately, as they have long since passed away, most of their collections were empty. The valuable tomes and scrolls that they possessed either passed on or stolen by apprentices and so forth. But I have started to recreate some of my former research on powerful beings and things like that. I started with powerful undead, looking into creatures like liches. You might know the stories of Sirik the Deathless Spirit, Udora the Corruptor, Sindora the Unceasing Queen. These names may or may not ring a bell for you.
Totally.
If any of you would like, you can to make history checks to see if you've heard of any of these individuals. You can.
I doubt there's any point in me doing it. Yeah, definitely not.
Until's gone to the bathroom. She will definitely make a check because Klari.
Mm-hmm.
What check? History check. Is that less than a 23? If so, yeah, she rolled a 23.
Yeah. So, Klari would definitely have heard of some of these names. These are indeed all names of reasonably well-known liches. Some of them have pseudonyms or other names, or are, and are referred to as other things in tales. But yeah, these are the names of some of the most famous liches throughout recent history. Let me just say, eventually after studying them, came up with the theory that Balsam, his power is not, he's not a lich of any kind. He's not progressing towards lichdom. Their power is tied to a place, a thing called a phylactery. It is where, if destroyed, they will be reborn from. He is something different. He is something else. His power is derived, it seems, from his queen. He is somehow, I suspect, bonded to her. And so I started looking.
Warlock.
Indeed, I started looking at how different spirits bound themselves to one another. Pacts between powerful creatures and mortals. As you say, warlocks were where I started. But he is not quite a warlock. His ceaseless undyingness is strange. Similar to my own condition as a vampire. looked into others to see if there were links there. It is similar, but it is not quite. His magical capabilities as well, these are not vampiric in nature and go beyond that of most common warlocks. I believe he is a combination of a warlock and a vengeful spirit, a revenant, or, to coin the term, a warvenant. There have been a few of these creatures I have discovered throughout history, but not many, and their tales are not always so clean. A warvenant is bound to their patron's life force until either their task is done or their patron gives them up. The patron can also be killed, thus severing the bond as well. There are 3 examples. You may have heard these stories before. One is comes in several variations, but the truest version I have been able to come across is a story of a couple called Romeo and Juliet. These two were lovers who wished to never be parted, and so, in order to form this bond, they took on each other as patrons. Difficult to do, but they were accomplished wizards. However, while being accomplished wizards, mortals are ill-suited to being patrons to anything, especially other mortals, and so they gained little as a result of these pacts with each other than becoming undead and extending their life. But they also lost much of their sense of self, their love of life, and unfortunately the tale goes, as a result, they took their lives a few short years after the pact was formed, doing so to give neither the chance to return. Another example comes from a religious text I found. It tells the story of an unnamed saint who took up an oath of servitude to their god, took up arms against the god's enemies, and was returned from the dead many times. A miracle of life, and to a testament to the god's power, it was told, to complete their holy mission until the crusade was complete. When the god's enemies were vanquished, they were released from service and welcomed gratefully into the afterlife. You can see the similarities here between a warvenant in service of a patron who is bound until their mission is complete and is then released upon that victory, as it were, or that conclusion of service when they are no longer required. Personally, I have not really seen much evidence of the gods, if they exist, being so inclined as to favor an individual with eternal life almost this way, or to punish an individual, one might say, with such a torturous task that not even death would release them from. The third story is the most clear-cut historical text I have found. It tells the story of a wizard, again another name you may have heard of in your studies, Galindor. He saw the attachments of lichdom as beneath him, and the vulnerability of a phylactery as well as a weakness, and so he set out to make a deal with a powerful devil, a pit fiend that went by the name of Strakabor, who granted this deal to Galindor the gift of eternal life, while Galindor helped Strakabor secure many slaves from the material plane to serve him in the afterlife in hell. Eventually, a group of heroes ventured into the Nine Hells, and they killed Strakabor with a blade called the Shard of Terminus. Strakabor's death made Galindor mortal once more, and so he was able to be killed. I do not have any idea really who Balsam's patron could be. Information has eluded me. There are many powerful devils of all shapes and varieties.
Does Ariel ring a bell?
My knowledge of Zariel is very limited. All I know about her is that she was or is imprisoned, I believe the story goes. She is a slave or a capture of Asmodeus.
I think she's
bit of a bitch, as far as I can tell. Well, I did some. I asked my what was it? I had a conversation with old Aramis, just casual conversation with the god, and she was telling me how she thinks that, and we sort of came to the conclusion that maybe Zariel was using, maybe she's not like a patron, but she's like whispering and using Balsam. Or was this a conversation we all had? Where we said that we think that Zariel is whispering and using Balsam to like free her, not really to, take over the, to stop this war. Because I had a conversation with Aramis, and she basically said like this war is impossible to stop. Like, you kill one demon, 5 more are going to come in and take its place. Kill a whole bunch of demons.
Yes,
and
I remember you had a conversation with Amaris about whether or not stopping the blood war was realistic, and she told you that it wasn't. It would take a force of immense size, and that by trying to form a pact with one side, you were just opening yourself up to betrayal from that side down the line, as devils and demons were treacherous by nature. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I think it was just a conversation I had with either you guys or someone else where I came to the realization that, I think she is just using Balsam, and he's not the real like bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just Balsam is just the middleman sort of thing. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, once she's out, she
will
just cast him aside. But
do we think that Balsam knows this though? Like, do we think that? Because here's my thinking. I don't know much about. I mean, I know a bit about demons and devils because trained to kill them, but I think it's fairly obvious that fighting a war against demons and devils is never going to end well, or stopping a war between them. Do you think he knows this? Do you think he is lying to us because he is actually trying to use the armies of Kavran to free Zariel? or do we think he is being? Because I'm thinking he's a fairly smart guy and he seems to know his stuff. I reckon he knows that. I reckon he was just trying to be like, oh, there's a big war going on in hell and I'm trying to stop it, to try and get, the people of this world on the side.
Oh, yeah.
To then, to try and deceive us all. Not thinking that, some people would actually have half a brain cell.
I
Anyway.
have a really quick question for Regis.
Mm-hmm.
If he's a spirit, who was he before?
That is an excellent question. What would drive someone to take up his pact? I do not know.
And how does he... I don't understand how he... At what... was he a spirit when you fought him? Or was he a person then?
He is a being, a creature. A spirit may be the term that is potentially not the most accurate one, but a revenant is a vengeful spirit. They don't really have a physical form or body. They take over the bodies of other dead, and you puppet them to fulfill their mission. If they are defeated, they will just move on and take another form. This is where the sort of link comes from for the Revenant, the warlock-like pact, but also the returning vengeful spirit nature.
So is he like that back then, or was he different?
I did not personally get too close to him. This is not a question I can answer, unfortunately. Do not really know what he was like, whether he was shifting through bodies, or whether he had a singular form to hold on to.
Fair enough. So how exactly do we kill him?
So I have a theory about how we can separate, magically separate a creature from its patron. Magic creates a link, and he turns around and he grabs a cup or a goblet off one of the tables, and holds it up in the air. So if I do this, and he clicks his fingers, and hovering in the air next to it is an illusory form of the same goblet. It says, using this goblet I have created a duplicate, a copy, using magic. But to create a copy of this thing, they are inexorably linked by magic. And he clicks his fingers again, and the illusion changes, and you start to see sort of tiny red ribbons of magic just slowly sort of drifting in the air, linking the real goblet to the illusion. This is a demonstration, but these links exist. If you had a way to breaks these links, it would influence the creation. I, as the creator, I'm also linked. He clicks his fingers again. You can see that a little red ribbon of illusory magic connects him to the illusory goblet. You can see. So these bonds exist when there is whenever a spell is created, an item created, the things that the source of power is linked somehow. These bonds are particularly obvious when you draw your power from another, be it creature or object, or whether you use an object, for example, and he'll point to Stix, who's got the Ring of Spell Story at the moment. Points to the
yes.
ring on Stix's finger, says, this ring that allows you to cast spells that possibly you yourself haven't even imbued it with. For example, if Arwen were to cast a spell she knows into it, there would create a link of magic between the ring and between Arwen. But there would also be a link of magic between you, Stix, who are attuned to such an item as well. If, for example, you used one of these blades that we must either make or find to cut that thread of magic, one could prevent you, Stix, from using the magic within that you had previously attuned to, or could sever Arwen's bonds to it and potentially disrupt the magic held within. The effect of that might cause it to instantly happen, whatever that effect was, or to just be lost, that link no longer available to pull on as a source. So if we can create something that will allow us to perceive these links, then we can also work on creating something that will allow us to sever these links, potentially preventing needing to go and hunt down this patron. If you believe it to be Zarya, this is a great advancement. I had no idea, so I was working on a way to separate him from the other.
Can you explain that in a really, really quick boom boom?
Yeah, so
I'm
essentially, when magic links stuff in the world, okay, there are tiny threads of magic that link everything together. These links are particularly prevalent when you draw power from an item or from another being. So by creating, Regis wants to try and create something that will make these links possible to be seen, and if they can be seen, then they can be destroyed, which prevents you needing to kill Balsam's patron, because Regis did not know Balsam's patron.
Okay.
Does that explain to you?
So we're going to cut the links, basically.
That is his proposed plan, is create a device to make the links. So it's twofold. You create a device that will make the links visible and physical to cut, and you will either need to create or find one of these famous artifacts that has the power to do so. That can't be done with any ordinary dagger.
Is it a dagger that is this weapon? then? Or is it like a...
The one from the story, the Shard of Terminus, was... You can make a history check about, if you'd like to.
I will just sort of be like, Shard of Terminus, Klari, and help her on such a check for a 30.
Yeah. So the Shard of Terminus is a blade of legend that existed a long time ago. The blade itself was said to be wielded by by a knight of Usiel. Usiel, you would know, Stix, is the human god of fire, light, and the sun. So, a blazing bright blade. It is described as a sword. It is not specifically, stated what type of sword, but it is described as a sword. Quite a large sword in history, but there is some, Clary would know, historical disagreement about the type of, or the size of the sword, and whether or not it was a great sword of light, or whether it was just a large great sword that gave off light, making it appear bigger. And there's lots of scholarly debate back and forth in recent times about it. But yes, it was apparently a blade of Usiel. But like a lot of things, it was lost, raided, pillaged, plundered when the knight passed away. Again, the historical texts are not wholly accurate as to whether or not the knight passed it on to their descendants, or whether one of their descendants stole it, and it disappeared through history.
Right. Do we know where it is?
No, you don't.
Or does it just have any inclination of where we can find such a magnificent weapon?
At this point in time, he does not. It's not something he was looking into at present. He hadn't got around to doing that. He will say that. So, the first stage of his plan was to work on an item to either allow these. So the first part of my plan was to harvest the essence required to create an item that will either allow you to see these things, or allow these things to be given physical presence. So, and then once that was done, or while that was being worked upon, the next stage could begin, either finding or again trying to make something of the required power to sever such a tether. If you are correct and you strongly believe that Zariel is Balsam's patron, then that does make things more difficult. Potentially, a being of that power, and archdevil of extreme strength, even captured extreme power, we will need something of equivalent power imbued by a spirit of equal or stronger measure in order to overcome those bonds. If if Balsam had just got his, I mean, it would be unlikely that he would have survived so long, but if he had just got his power from, a simple bone devil or chain devil or what have you, then they would be, you could find a lower strength being to imbue a new blade. But if it is an archdevil, you will need to find, and you cannot find a blade. You will need to forge a blade with the essence of someone incredibly powerful.
Can we do loads of mini people to make one big person?
I mean, there is theories about combining essence like that. It is a bit like this is a bit like a dam. If you imagine if you have a lake or a dam or something, and you have one large fish in there, it can move around and be free to its heart's content. It is contained. But if you have a dam and you put in 1,000 little fish, then they start to work against each other. They compete against each other, and it creates friction in a system like that where...
Okay, so we need one big guy.
One is more stable. Lots of small ones can work, but it makes it even more volatile. It is less stable.
That's fair enough. How do you collect an essence?
So I have made one of these, and he goes over to the desk and picks up what looks to be a relatively plain looking leather wrapped flask, and he unscrews the lid, and where it joins you can see that there is bright, like, shining metal underneath the leather wrappings, and you can see that on the seam where it unscrews on the edge you can make out lots of intricate runic work that sort of glitters in the light as he turns it. This is an essence or a soul jar. When a creature is killed, they can, for a lingering, their essence lingers for a time. If you are quick, you can harvest it, and using this you can absorb it in, and it will be held and it will remain. Ordinarily, when a creature is slain, that essence disappears with the life force of the body, and decays rapidly. In here, it will maintain until we can work with it.
How? Sorry, Karen.
Go on, next question.
How powerful does it have to be? If you were to say, give it a number from 1 to 20.
We are looking in the upper region of 18 to 20.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we're gonna die.
There are only... But also the nature of the creature matters. We need something that exists in a way that is... or that is... allows you to see the unseen. There are 2 types of creatures that I know of that would be most fit for purpose. These are ether dragons and spectatrices.
I'm not killing a dragon.
Both these things exist.
Wait, what?
Pardon?
what dragon? Sorry,
An
ether
ether
dragon.
dragon.
Did you say?
Yep, or a spectatrice.
It's a spectre tree.
Spectre.
You
And we
can-
need to.
a
we would need to
initiative if you'd
kill
like
things
to see if
or-
you've heard of a spectatrice.
And we would need to kill these things to get the material components to build a thing to be able to see the thread.
Yes, these are the two creatures that I know of.
Okay.
For the
I
14,
mean-
you've never heard of a spectatrice.
An ether necessarily sound evil. I don't know what the fuck a spectatrice is. I don't know if you've already rolled, but can I try and give Arwen advantage on figuring out what a spectatrice is?
Yeah,
Because
you
I
can-
do
you
have
can roll
proficiency
again
in
if
nature.
you'd like. No, between the two of you, you have never heard of and have no idea what a spectatrice is.
Spectatrice.
So these things both reside in the same plane of existence, the ethereal plane.
Ah. Lads
Ah,
on tour.
fuck, we're gonna have to go into the.
Let's
Fun.
go. So we're all gonna make
Yeah,
custom
that
t-shirts.
sounds- I have a question. Aren't you able to? Don't you have that thing which can allow you to cast that spell, like Legend Lore or something, where you can just know shit about stuff? Can you just use that and figure out what the hell a spectatrice is, or an ether dragon? I'd rather go for a spectatrice than ether dragon, but thank you.
In name of the spider person thing.
I'm cold.
How is the baby Jesus?
Oh, lovely and cutchy. Yeah, you could do that. Or could you use that to figure out if we could find out any more information on this, like sword of Uriel, which I'm just saying sounds a lot like Zuriel, which is no.
I mean,
Zuriel's
Stix, you would know
Sorry.
that a lot of the
Yeah.
human gods have similar names. For example, Ramiel, Habriel, Terasiel, Zuriel, Salathiel, Sabriel,
No,
and so on. So they all.
I got
end-
Zuriel and Zariel. I'm just saying, I feel like Zuriel needs a bit of a branding change, because if only one letter is the difference between you, a god of harvests and life and stuff, or a demonic entity, that's pretty bad. You probably wanna do a bit of a branding change on that one.
I know some great designers
But there we
who
go.
can do a new logo for her.
Fantastic. No, I like the logo. Cool cornucopia. I'm just thinking maybe like a new name, like
Thistleblade, the name she's been going by for a long time for the elves.
Yes.
yeah, Thistlebladiel.
Thistleblade.
Thisthiel.
God.
Yeah. He said like all the gods sound the same, sound like El. Thistlebladiel.
Oh Jesus.
That wouldn't work. Yeah. If you want, you could use your legend lore thing to try.
Oh no, it has frozen. Oh,
I'm
that-
worried that the spectre are like a weird ethereal cockatrice, and that's just terrifying.
Oh what?
I heard of a cockatrice.
It's a cockatrice.
Big chicken.
They're like big birds that turn you to stone. Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
it's
big
like an
chicken
emu
that
that can
bites
turn
you
you
and
to
turns you.
There's my book. This is low level enough to be something that Arwen is aware of.
It sounds French.
Croquettes.
Sounds like a French dish. Something you'd get in a... Ooh, that's so ugly.
Yeah, it's a really ugly, like,
Ew.
emu chicken type thing with scales that can turn you to stone.
Oh, look at you. Cute.
That's a Kuatal on the other
It's a lot.
page.
I want.
Or a Kuatal or whatever.
Are they nice?
Yeah, they're good
They're
aligned.
lawful
Coatl.
good.
They are angels that heal things and people.
Yeah, they're technically celestials, so.
I think someone.
Let's get
should
one of
have
them.
One of them.
Hey, if you learn the spell Summon Celestial, you can summon one.
Can I?
I don't know if you can learn the spell Summon Celestial, but the spell
I think
exists.
I can.
Maybe you can.
I think it's a 5th level spell. I'm pretty sure I did learn
I
it.
think it was one of mine that I could have learned, but I was like, ugh, no.
Summon
Yeah!
Celestial.
Oh, 17th level.
5th
Y'all
level
better know that.
conjuration. You call forth a spirit
Yeah.
manifests.
Oh no, I couldn't.
Oh no. Summon Celestial is a like celestial spirit with it.
stat block. There is one that allows
I
you
think-
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's conjure celestial, not
Conjure
summon
Celestial.
celestial.
See, I think that's the wrong way round. Because conjure to me sounds like the thing that
I
should allow
agree.
you to make something, whereas summon brings you something. Conjure Celestial.
Or it should be like, I feel like it should be like conjure or like summon celestial spirit, because that's technically what it does. It conjures a celestial spirit.
Yeah, Conjure Celestial. You summon a Celestial of challenge rating 4 or lower, which appears in an unoccupied space you see within range. Celestial disappears when it drops to 0 hit points, or when the spell ends, which is concentration up to an hour. It's a cleric only spell. The Celestial is friendly to you and your
and it
companions
says
for the duration. Roll initiative for it. It has its own turns. It obeys verbal commands. You issue it, no action required. As long as they don't violate its alignment. If you don't issue commands, it defends itself. Yeah. So it's. So yes, conjure. But if you wanted to summon a Celestial, if you wanted to summon Celestial and have it take the form of that, then that would be within the bounds of what you could do with the spell. Summon Celestial is Paladin and Cleric.
Indeed. Kind of tempted to get it. That'd be pretty cool.
Yes. So, Clary, were you using Legend Lore?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you use Legend Lore on a Spectatrice, and you learn
Indeed.
that a Spectatrice is a being from the ethereal plane that has it is like a floating ethereal being with a spherical in shape, pretty much, with a singular eye and a large mouth of spiky teeth and multiple tentacles that come off it with eyes on the end of stalks.
A beholder.
So, like it's like an ethereal beholder.
Okay, yeah, we can kill one of them. That's fine. Let's kill that. Not the dragon.
Are you sure we don't want the dragon? The dragon sounds more nice to fight than a weird ethereal thing with lots of eyes. Although,
Stix.
you understand, like, well, yeah, because here's the thing: like, in a dragon isn't necessarily evil.
No.
Would Clary know if a Spectatrice is like have tendencies towards evil or good?
Unlike its beholder like kin. Spectatrices are a offshoot of the Beholder branch, similar to like is it like Deathlocks or Death Tyrants and stuff like that. But they are whereas Beholders are generally from the Underdark. Spectatrices are more neutral than Beholders in nature.
But we have to go fucking kill one. Oh god, this is moral ambiguity at its finest. Maybe we need to find two. You know, like one of each. And then whichever one's the asshole, we kill that one. But my money is on Spectre's being the asshole.
Yeah, I'm really
I'm just
hoping.
Readers will say, how much does any of you know about planar travel and the nature of the different planes themselves?
Well, I once walked through a door in a bar and I ended up in a cave with a stone dragon. So, not very much. No.
That was a great day.
That was a weird day.
You didn't have to go through all of the weird blindfold walking.
You didn't wake up to a fucking family of squirrels in your bed.
Different day.
No, that was the same day. The exact same day. I woke up, squirrels everywhere. I'm in a bar. I'm hungover to shit. I walked through a thing. Yeah, I walked through a door, what I thought was my bedroom, and boom, I'm there in a cave with you. It was as much a surprise to me as it was to you.
That sounds like a delightful.
And I don't do hangovers. I don't do hangovers well. I personally, I would prefer your day of adventuring and going through caves and shit.
Fine.
I'm a half elf. I'm not.
Well,
But
I mean, if any of you would like, you can make an intelligence check to see if you know anything about the nature of planes and planar magic. Just a straight intelligence check, no skill.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
That what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sure Clary can't do
You need
an
to
attack.
or just to put your glasses on.
Yeah, probably.
10 for
I know
Arwen.
nothing. Clary knows all.
22.
22. So yeah, so Clary, you would know that the planes, there are many different planes, and they...
Boeing 747.
Pardon? What did you say?
Nothing.
Okay.
Carry on.
I didn't hear that at all, so...
She said Boeing 747.
Oh,
I'm not letting her get away with that.
Oh, dear Lord. What's
Go
the
on,
opposite of inspiration?
Name another.
Name another plane.
Name another plane. Yeah.
737.
The planes of existence.
Yeah, so you know that there are many planes of existence: the 747, the 737, the A380, the F-15, the B-52.
The Spitfire.
Yeah, the Hurricane. No, so you would know that there are many planes of existence, and they are all.
Can't stop thinking about.
They are all referred to as, or often referred to as, being reflections of each other. And they exist. Some believe they exist on top of each other, as in they occupy the same space, but slightly, magically shifted to the side, so to speak, so that in theory you are moving through all planes at all times, but you only perceive the one you're on because all the planes exist together simultaneously. Some believe that they are layered on top of each other, like a world lasagna.
World lasagna.
The worst.
Does that mean the world is flat? Because if it's like sheets of lasagna, the world is flat. Jojo confirmed it.
Not doing that. Not.
World's flat.
Arwen can't stand flat earthers.
And so the planes exist in conjunction, but it also means that they frequently reflect the planes around them. So traveling through the ethereal plane, you will likely, the ethereal plane will be very much roughly the same shape as Kavran, you expect. The topography might be very different, but in its base structure, you would know that it's very similar. Which would mean you could plan where you wanted to go and have a reasonable knowledge of how to get there. And Regis will tell you that these two things exist in very different locations. There is one, ether dragons can exist anywhere in the plane. They are incredibly powerful beings that can move around at great speeds through the plane. But towards the end of its life, a dragon will return to a small island in the northwest. I have learned this island is referred to as the Graveyard of the Wings. This is where the oldest and most powerful dragons go when they feel their time of existence is over. If you were to travel here, you could potentially find what is maybe an easy target and assuage some of the guilt I can see already on Arwen's face by putting an old and soon to be dead anyway creature out of its misery. Alternatively, the spectatrices I know are most common on the island to the southwest. What we would know as Velenmore Island. I have not been able to learn its name, just that there is some kind of colony potentially that exists in this area.
We are not killing a dragon.
Yeah, I'm not overly keen on that idea anyway. Like, I mean, thing is, it does seem easier, but at the same time, I don't know. There's got to be some kind of catch. There's definitely got to be some kind of catch. And if I'm very honest, I've kind of always wanted to go to Velenmore Island. Never been there before. So what better time to go? So we would have to go to Velenmore Island and then use some kind of plane travel spell, and we would be there, and then we just need to look for the spectatrice, kill the spectatrice, collect whatever it is we need to collect from it.
That is certainly an option. If you have a method of doing that, then of course, that is an excellent way to do it. It would be probably much safer to travel through the land of Kavran to there. I do not have a way to shift you in location, as it were. I can send you there, but it will be to a somewhat specific location. I have visited there once before. One time, and you see sort of Regis gets a faraway look in his eye, although he's remembering. One time I took Felix to picnic in the Feywild, and we we accidentally slighted the wrong group of fairies. And in our haste to escape, we ended up going through the wrong portal and landed ourselves in the ethereal plane rather than the material.
Easy mistake. E-M. Very similar letters.
We were fortunate enough to meet a tribe of nomads. They roam themselves between the Great Lakes within the plain. So they could be in a variety of locations, but one of the things I have left over from the trip is this circlet of this flower crown that was given to us, and you can see he goes over and opens up a chest and reaches in. You can see his arm, even though the chest is maybe only sort of a foot deep, his arm reaches all the way down to the shoulder, and he comes out, and you can see that there is this like glass, almost like bell jar in it, and there is this circlet of sort of pinky blue flowers just sort of floating with it. So I could send you there from here. Where you end up is, this will send you to, as is an item that belongs to the tribe, this will send you to wherever they happen to be at the time. I know they wander around, they roam the area around the Great Lakes, so wherever that happens to be at that point in time is where you will wind up. From there you can navigate to wherever you wish. Alternatively, of course, you can go and travel and see if you can find anyone who can shift you through the plains. The only other thing to worry about is being able to see what you will walk into. If you end up in, you could be standing on flat ground and then you could step through a planar portal and find yourself over a chasm. You could find yourselves encased in a mountain, and if any of you have experienced teleportation gone wrong, you know it can be very painful when you end up in the wrong place and are shunted out of the obstruction. Can be very damaging to an individual. These are the risks you would take if you tried to travel to Velen more directly and step across there. Not to dissuade you from this, just to warn you of the inherent dangers.
I look to Matilda and see if she knows anyone who has ever done anything like this. Like, if she knows someone that works.
Well, I was going to say, we are aware of someone who is pretty good with spellcasting.
Look,
and
I'm
I
sorry,
hate to bring up this.
I can't do it today.
I truly hate to bring up his name, but wasn't that guy Piper a pretty proficient spellcaster? Couldn't he do lots of cool shit? Could he do that?
Can he?
Ben absolutely knows that. Ben knows he can. Stix knows that Stix doesn't know he can. But Stix is thinking if he could bring us back to life. You know, Stix doesn't know much about magic. He's thinking, well, if he brought us back to life, surely he can transport us over a plane. In Stix's mind, that's like they're a thing. So.
Yeah. Well, I only met him like once. Or twice. But I can still... Whoa. I can still send an animal message. Because I don't have a... Unless anyone has a sending spell of some sort.
I don't know, do you still have a sending scroll? Oh no, we had one, but I'm pretty sure we used it.
Did Matilda know anyone?
We can find another one. We're in Rosenzen.
So in response to your question, does Matilda know anyone? Matilda will also be like, well, you see, planar travel has always been very interesting. It's one of the things that I kind of thought about when my house started to move. Initially it started to move because I was trying to summon a creature to me, and therefore I ended up getting it wrong and my house moved.
Back on track. Do you know anyone?
Anyone who can specifically move planes? No, that would be incredibly interesting to learn about. This person you said, Piper, do you know where they are? I'd be interested to see if they have these capabilities to learn what they're about and how this sort of thing works. You're Mr. Regis. Your crown of flowers.
One question at a time. Okay? One question.
You can see she's almost like vibrating with excitement.
I know
like,
she is.
The question, like, if she doesn't ask the question soon, you imagine they will just explode out of her.
This Piper person? No, sadly, we have no idea where he is. He was a person who could change their appearance seemingly on the fly, so he could quite literally be anywhere in the world right now, looking like anyone in the world right now.
I can still send an animal
so that
message,
doesn't help.
though, can't I?
You can, yes. Whether or not it makes it will...
Pretty sure.
So you use an animal to deliver a message. Choose a tiny beast. You see blah blah blah. You specify a location which you must have visited, a recipient, and a recipient. So you do kind of have to know where he is in order to and what he looks like in order to. Yes.
Why did you make Piper fucking change?
I and it's a slightly meta knowledge, but Klari would know that she now has access to 3rd level spells. Sending is a 3rd level spell. We know this because we've used the spell scroll of sending before, and Klari had to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Could we go out and get a sending scroll for Klari to use to send Piper a message? Because not only did she meet Piper, she fought with him and punched him in the face once.
Nice.
Yeah, you could.
Could we do that? See if the local magic shop, Morgwin's Magical Miscellany.
Oh yeah.
But see if they have a sending scroll.
Okay, now you can ask the nice man stuff. While we go out and go find some scrolls.
Yeah, Matilda bursts into a load of questions about various things. There is just this battle.
Let's go shopping.
Shopping.
Okay. So the prices of scrolls.
It's if we need it, it is free.
Then it's infinitely expensive because there's another way you could do this, so therefore you don't need it. Excellent, good. Problem solved. No. Okay.
There is another way we could do it.
I don't know. The rules on spell scrolls are squiffy. Let's make up a number.
2.
2. So, yes, you head to Morgwin's. Once again, she's very pleased to see you, being returning customers that you are. That was very nice to see you all once more. I haven't seen you for a little while. We're starting to think I've seen the last of you, but what are you in the market for today?
We need a scroll of a spell that can send a message far away to a person we know.
That's simple enough. She, pulls out this large book that you've seen her flick through before of inventory. Says, "Yes, well, I do happen to have such a thing on hand. Yes. Well, why don't we say that's a scroll? Takes a little while to make. But you guys are excellent customers. Oh, let's put that at 500 gold for friends."
500 gold for friends. You know what? Yeah, fine. This was Stix's idea. He will pay for it. In platinum coins. So I've now got 56 platinum left. Thank you very much. He will, purchase the scroll and it to Klari and say, "You could ask." Though he seemed like a bit of a weirdo, so I guess we probably shouldn't get our hopes up. I will say this was Ben having an idea, realizing that Piper could learn the spell plane shift, but also generally we don't know a lot of spellcasters, and therefore when we asked, is there anyone we know that could do it, that is the only person that thinks.
Well, here's the interesting question. Plane shift is not a bard spell.
It is not. But from bard knowledge of Ben at 14th level,
yes,
which I don't know if Piper is.
Well,
if not,
basically, the way I say
gold
is the other characters that you guys have, if ever, something happened to Stix and you wanted to pick up Piper again, he would automatically be of a level equivalent. So,
cool.
As an option, it is, he is available to you, if you are willing, to make the decision to lock in his 14th level magical secrets to plane shift.
Well, here's what I was thinking, right? And as a way to somewhat quote unquote justify it, is Piper lost his carnival. He wants a new one. He wants to start up a new one. Where are the best and fanciest carnivals in all and every world ever? And a place where he can be a changeling without anyone judging him, because he is a fey creature. Possibly the Feywild. And I thought maybe as a way of somewhat justifying that, he could have learned plane shifted to the Feywild, and tried to start up his own travel there, trying to make it better than everything else because he's running away from all the problems that happened here.
Yeah. I'm happy to let Piper learn plane shift, but it does mean if you ever go back to him, he is locked into his magical secrets at 14th level, being the spell plane shift.
That is fine because plane shift is a dope as shit spell, so I'm good with that.
Okay.
It's like Banner, but better. However, if JJ, you think this is very, very metagamey, I completely understand.
No,
I will back off this.
No, I like this. This is a potentially creative solution to a problem. I like the idea.
Then, and then if you only wanted me
run with this as a creative option, then
yeah, cool. So, but then I guess that would come to the thing of, doesn't sending have a thing where if they're on a different planet,
has a 5% chance that the message does not go through if they are on another plane of existence, which, for the sake of this, I'm sure you all think is reasonable to say he's in the Feywild, so he's on a different plane of existence.
He's what?
So there is a 5% chance that Clary's sending spell does not work.
That's a pretty alright risk.
Indeed.
So, roll a d100, Clary. I get. Don't fuck it up.
I will say 1 to 5 is the failure chance. $91.
Oh, thank God.
Your message successfully goes through. What is it you put in your message, Clary?
25 words. Don't ask Piper to help.
We're gonna have a full house.
The idea is that we possibly need a plane shift to get us into the ethereal plane where we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on an angle, that's the problem. I couldn't get him on. Because the cable's gone all squishy.
Is plane shift one word or two words?
2 words.
No, there's definitely a hyphen in it. Makes it 1. Yeah, you Google that.
No, plane shift is definitely 2 words.
Worth a try.
The ethereal.
What are you paying me for?
Because they're both being patronising and affectionate.
Did Regis say that he had a way for us to get to the... He had like a thing that we could use to get to the ethereal plane?
Yes, so this flower crown that he's got from this nomadic tribe is an item, and essentially, so for meta knowledge, this would be the equivalent of the thing required for plane shift for him, and so it would take you, because you need an item from the place you're going to travel, so it would send you to wherever this tribe happened to be at the time.
And they are in
the ethereal plane, yes.
But it would put you in.
Right.
It could have
Gotcha.
put us like north, east.
So yeah,
Yeah.
You don't know where they are and where it will bring you. The other problem you need to solve, if you commit to using Piper, is you need something from the ethereal plane. You need to track something down that exists that is from the ethereal plane, from the location you want to go to.
Yeah, we need to track down this spectratrice in the ethereal plane.
So if you want to
but
go
I guess
to
that's a
Bellamore
problem.
and pass over from there, or pass over, through to that place, you need an item from that. For plane shift, you need an item from that specific point in the ethereal plane to go to. If that makes sense.
Yeah. A quote-unquote tuning fork or something of some.
How many words is it?
25. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. To get to a specific place when you plane shift, yeah, you need a thing from that place. Or you need to be able to describe that place. It's something along those lines. I can't remember. You can specify the target, general tiles, city of brass, dispatch a second level madhouse, and you appear in or near that destination. If you're trying to reach the city of brass, for example, you might drop a street of steel before the gate of ashes, or look into the city of the sea of fire to the end of the then complete the sigil sequence for teleportation circle and notify the existence of utilize circles. You can use this to banish and willing to go back to another plane. Cool. Chantel's just writing up at 25 words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sorry, I was mistaken about. You don't need something from the location you want to travel to, but you do need something from the plane itself. And
yeah, so that would,
because Regis's magic is NPC magic, it's a bit essentially wishy-washy. It's like, the thing he's got will allow you to travel to the nomadic tribe,
but thingies will be more accurate
if you can find
Pipers.
something else from the plane that is of the equivalent value that you need for the spell. Then
We've got 25 words.
okay.
See what you guys think.
Shadowfell's a completely different place, isn't it? Couldn't it be in the shadow?
Need the probable world ending that. Find us in those and send.
sorry, can you speak up a little bit? I'm having trouble.
Yeah, sounds good.
We've got Hi Piper, need your help. Can you plane shift? Need to get to ethereal plane. Probable world ending matter. Find us in Rosen's End. Thanks, Klari.
Okay.
Does it sound good?
Love that. Hi. By the way, the world's ending. Come see us.
I did also consider just writing help 25 times.
Help. Okay. Yeah, and I have Piper's reply. Hey, Clarence, wasn't it? I can do that. Need a thing from there to do it, but yes, I can take you there. Cheers. Well,
Letter.
no, you didn't.
Yes, I did. So thanks, Klari.
Oh,
Call me Clarence.
never mind. You wouldn't call you. Never mind then.
No,
You would
that feels
say,
in character.
Oh, hey. Actually, yeah. No, this feels slightly in character. Yeah.
Oh god.
So wherever the fuck Piper is in the Feywild, he's like I like to think at that moment of getting that spell, he's in the middle of a performance and he's just like stopped the performance for a second just to do that, like taking a call like in the middle of like a play or some shit. Well, he's like a blade like balanced on his nose. He's like, oh yeah, I can do that. No worries. Yeah, I'm not busy. I'm not in the middle of anything. Cool. Alright. Finishes it up. Uses plane shift to get back to. Well, with plane shift, you can describe a place.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm assuming he would need a thing from.
Well, he
the
would
material
definitely have a
plane.
thing from the material plane, so that would be fine.
So would you be able to say he could just back.
Yeah, so he could say Rosenzen in the material plane, or like Rosenzen and
Okay, cool.
Kavran in the material plane, and he would appear in Rosenzen. But as the spell describes, where exactly he appears is open to interpretation.
In the pond.
In the pond.
Okay, so Piper, balancing a sword on his nose, just goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I've been an absolute treat. Sadly, I'm going to have to call this thing a little short. I trust everyone else can clean up." All right, cool. Flicks the swords off his nose, catches them, puts them away. Bye. Plane shift to Rosenzen. He just says Rosenzen.
Mm-hmm.
And he appears in Rosenzen looking like a very handsome elvish person. I did not think I'd be playing Piper today, but there we go.
Yeah, so Piper appears.
Where am I in
Piper appears in.
Probably.
Looking around himself, he finds himself in a large. Trust me, I certainly didn't think you'd be playing Piper today.
Hold on, let me just really quickly level Piper up like 5 levels.
I like to think Piper did appear going, ah.
Oh yeah, consummate professional Piper.
Oh yeah, he has absolutely appeared like, I am here.
Yeah,
I really hope it's on a table in a tavern.
No, Piper appears out in one of a location you'd all be familiar with in Rosenzen, which would be the amphitheatre located in one of the central parks over in the Eastern District.
Oh, you're gonna say locked underneath the in the crypt underneath.
No,
where you need that bell to tell.
That would be a little harsh to put in there. Yes, but he just appears,
work for this.
Yeah, he just appears there. As you know, there is a small stage set up, so he just sort of appears there. There are several people, it is a place people meet. It is a large park. There are several people in groups, sort of, milling about on the tiered seating. Piper just appears with his arms stretched. A few people, there's a few sort of like shouts of alarm as this individual appears, and maybe some expectant sort of looks like, is this going to be, Piper is clearly a bard, is this going to be some impromptu show that's going on? People almost wait to just see what he does.
Yeah, appearing here, so I'm assuming like I'm in front of some kind of crowd.
Not so much a crowd.
I'd just be like,
if you can imagine, if you have like a public amphitheatre like that, people might just go and sort of sit in it in small groups and congregate. It wouldn't be like a packed crowd. There's not a performance ongoing that he's interrupting. This is just a
That would have been better.
a park in the middle of the day.
Okay, well, Piper realizing that he is now just appeared here, he's like, hi, can someone direct me to, anyone know a Klari? Oh, fuck, what was his name? It was like Twigs or something. Purple guy, round horns. You know what? Everyone just hold on. And Piper casts sending, and he asks Klari, "Hi, I'm in Rosenzen now. There's a lot of people here. Where are you?"
Do we have addresses in Rosenzen?
Yeah, Klari, you can reply with an address of the house.
Ew, don't give him our address.
Oh, yes.
You can turn up whenever you want.
Excellent. And after receiving the reply, he just goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Piper, and I'll be gracing your city this fine. Is it evening? Day?
It's
evening?
Middle of the afternoon.
Middle of the afternoon. Fantastic."
I actually pause and ask the audience, like, sorry, what time is it?
What time is it? Cool. Sorry, I've been a bit of everywhere. What's that over there? And he looks up. He casts Major Image. A firework suddenly appears above his head, runs into the crowd, changes his appearance, and dashes away to try and find wherever the fuck these guys are.
Yeah, and just because I feel like there should be some sort of role in this, just make an intelligence check for Piper to see if he can find his way to an address.
I don't remember Piper. Oh, great, he's got 0 intelligence.
Oh
well, plus 0, so. Oh yeah, I've got. Oh fuck yeah, bardic
Jack of all
thing.
trades.
I get to like add like Jack of all trades. That's it. Fuck yes. Oh, bards are cool. Yeah, 21 bitches.
Piper very quickly finds his way to the address, and I'll say with the success of all that, probably within the hour there is a knock at the door and a Piper appearing however he chooses to appear.
Yeah, so he's just like an elven dude because he's been in the Feywild. He looks like a very, very annoyingly pretty looking elven man. Like one of them, because obviously like Feywild, I'm assuming you've got like lots of like elven Fey beings that look very, very pretty. So he kind of looks like one of them people who you definitely think has had some kind of work done, because there's no way someone can naturally look that just pretty. Not even like handsome, but like pretty. And everything else is pretty much the same. He's got his big, like very flamboyant coat with all the, with like the glamour weave coat that that now like changes color to be, you know, a little bit more material world-esque. And he's got his 2 scimitar swords at his side and his mandolin. He's just sort of holding in his hands, ready to play it for whoever opens the door. And he probably doesn't actually even wait for anyone to open the door. He just starts playing at the front door step. He's bored waiting, even if he's waiting like 5 seconds.
Chappie 100% opens the door and has no idea what's going on. I didn't know it was Carol time of year.
Door?
Sure, why not? Yeah, Chappie opens the door as you guys are maybe all upstairs discussing the details of things with Regis still, and before Piper is this what looks like metal man made out of a single sort of like coil of wire. You smooth featureless face like a mannequin, and as Piper starts playing, Chappie just goes, "Hello, who are you?"
Well, I could ask you the very same. Well, who am I? What? You know what? I don't have time for this. I'm meant to be meeting a Klari here, or an Arwen, or a. I'll remember that guy's name one day. Yeah, whatever.
Please come in.
Hello.
Please come in.
Thank you.
They are upstairs. I will fetch them. And you guys upstairs. There's a knock on the door of the study where you guys are with Regis, and Chappie comes in. He's like, "Hello, there is a Piper to see you. Will he be staying for dinner?"
Oh yes.
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 Okay.
What are we having?
We
I
are
think I
having.
No, I don't.
Well,
What do I
on the spot like this. We are having char-grilled mushrooms from the Dogdarum Mountains with spicy peppercorns and sea fish.
Oh, that sounds so good. Not gonna lie.
No, we have run out of bacon. You consumed 3 pounds yesterday.
It was Hugo.
More will be delivered tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Chappie.
You are welcome, Miss Arwen.
Oh, I love Chappie so much.
At this point, Piper's already got bored of waiting downstairs and has sort of just come up behind. Hi.
Who?
How's it going? Hello, everybody. Larry, Arwen. I want to say Stix. Stix just kind of looks at him like, I'm regretting this already. Hello, my name is Stix. Stix. Yes, you were dead the last time I saw you. That was fun. Well, actually, no, technically, I revived you. I revived most of you guys, actually. Well, not you. Where's
We're not talking about that right
now. Fair enough. I will take the hint. So you guys need some magical assistance in getting to the ethereal plane. I don't know. Do I even need to ask why you need to go there, or
just gonna
or what?
Get something's essence, bring it back, craft a blade, kill a god. Everyday stuff, you know.
Sounds like a rousing story that would make for quite a good poem. Fantastic.
I'll tell you all about it.
Cool, yeah. Cool. Sadly, I might have to go with you. Because the way the spell works is I need to go there and I need to get you back.
This is
because
be
if,
so
you know, I take no way to get back. Now, yeah, so that's that. Another thing is I need a thing from there. I need like a thing from that place so that we can go there and do that
like
stuff.
A Nocturne Alley sort of place in Rosenzen.
What, for illicit?
Well, I'm pretty sure something from the ethereal plane isn't just knocking around in a Marks and Spencer's.
That would be a fairly safe assumption. You don't get the impression that something like this would be like contraband that is like underground, like smuggling type of item. You know, you don't suspect you're going to need to acquire this illegally. It's just that something like this is going to be incredibly rare.
Okay. Oh god. Is there like a museum?
There is like a what's the word? There is a messenger guild within the city. You know, there is this large circular tower within the city that the Griffin Rider messengers use as a takeoff and landing point. And this tower is attached to a large repository of information, because you know, messages and things sometimes need things looking up. But yeah, and you know, this is not everyone is literate, so finding someone to potentially write a message for you if you need to send it a long way. You know, the library in the city is a good place to do that, so you might as well have that attached to the messenger guild.
So there's not a museum.
No, museums aren't a big thing in this sort of setting. They don't have a long recorded history like that. Anything of that interest kind of ends up falling into someone's personal collection.
Oh, has anyone got some sort of weird hoard?
So you have to find an individual that has a collection, someone who potentially has a history of looking for rare, exotic items somewhere. They would be an individual like that would be, if they didn't have something, would potentially know someone in the industry. You can reroll ones on hit dice if you're doing Piper's hit dice.
Thank you.
So they might know if they were a trader of rare items like that. Also, this library of information may be a place to find something like that as well, or someone who knows about something like that.
Okay, so let's go there.
So you can go there, or if you know of someone else who you think might be relevant, someone who collects these sorts of rare items like that, then they might also be someone to talk to.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone we've ever met that would do anything like that. So
Stix, just make a
I
history.
think we're best going to the place. Yes, of course. And in thinking of this stuff and trying to figure this out, he slapped his own butt, gives himself a guidance. 13.
You would remember that your spear, Hivaldry, is a very old, had some historical significance some time ago, and that Lord Montsignier was very interested in it because of that history.
He likes to collect shit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's go to him.
Well, do we want to like split up maybe? Just just in case, like like Klari and people can go to the library, and then like other people can go to Lord Montsignier. Like I can go to him, and then some people, and then we can like double down on it that way.
Mhm.
Cool.
Can I suggest I go to Montsignier because I don't think I'm going to be any help with the books.
Fantastic.
And then
Piper will say, "Three's a crowd. I'm gonna go to the library. Come on, Klari. Let's go." Grabs your arm forcefully, even though you don't want me to.
I would like to
And we
send
trot off.
with my ring to Klari, just going, I am so sorry. I will make it up to you.
Okay.
Cool.
Who would like to go first? Klari and Piper, or Stix and Arwen?
Should we do?
I'm intrigued to see Piper in a library.
Yeah. Should we do Klari and Piper first? In a library. Because
Okay.
that's, I'm sure that would be the easier one. Just make checks and go.
Mm-hmm. So, Klari and Piper, you head towards the Messenger Guild, which is easy to find. It is a tall tower that sticks up above all the other buildings within the city. Occasionally, you can see a rider take off from it, but you probably make your way through the city towards it. The sun is on its way down, shadows beginning to lengthen. You've moved from afternoon into early evening at this point, but you make your way there. Inside, it is a relatively quiet. There is a small queue of people forming. You have to wait a few minutes to get to a desk where there is a human individual is waiting, has been taking taking down messages to send and locations and taking payments from people, things like that. One individual has a small package that they want sending. Over here, there's a package being sent to all the way over to Ormsdala, and they have a little grumble about the fee of sending it such a distance. They try and haggle their way down a little bit, but the clerk behind the desk stands firm and does not compromise on price. But eventually you make your way to the front of the queue, where you can see a short, black-haired, bespectacled man is sitting over a large ledger of various things with notes scrawled down and so forth. He looks at me and he says, "Next. Yes, what can I do for you?"
We're here to learn about things.
Okay.
Particularly things to do with, what was it you guys said? Like planar travel to the ethereal plane. We need a thing that will get us there. I can do the magic-y stuff to get us there, but I need a thing that gets me there.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're after access to the library.
Yes.
Library fees are 2 copper pieces a day. If you want to check anything out, take it to that desk over there, and they will make a note of it. You have a few hours for the end of the day today, so we will call it 1 copper piece for the remainder of the day. Also, no open flames and no food.
My good sir, I love a good library.
Madam.
And I don't like change. So, yeah, I flick him a silver piece because that's the lowest thing I got.
Yeah, he takes it and he pulls out a little drawer, slots it in. You see lots of slots, and immediately starts pulling out copper pieces to hand them back to you. Hands you back 8 copper pieces.
Yeah, and we go in and we do the book learning.
Okay. What sort of,
or whatever?
What are you looking for? Are you looking for records and sort of information about people, or are you looking for information more directly related to the plane itself that might pertain to artifacts from there?
Well, I'm thinking if you look at things for like artifacts from there that we try and use as a focus, and I can look up what the plane is like and what's there, because I think if Piper is teleporting these people there, he's gonna want to know what before he necessarily fully agrees to whatever the fuck's going on.
Okay. Yeah. Then could each of you individually make investigation checks, please?
Bardic inspiration. You get to add a D10. Can I Bardic inspiration myself as well?
Not unless you have a specific Bardic feature that allows you to, I believe. I don't know what the subclass is that allows you to do that off the top of my head. Do you remember what subclass Piper is?
I'm swords, so probably not that one.
So yes, I would expect not. I believe it. I can't remember what it is. It might be law that allows you to inspire yourself. Either way, let's have a look. Swords. No, that is valor. Swords is not in this book.
swords, I think, is like Xanathars or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but 14th level law bards can use their inspiration die on ability checks themselves. So, yeah, I'm just going to assume it's not swords, and you can't inspire yourself.
That is fair enough. In which case, I'll inspire Klari, and I'll just make my own investigation check. Nope, that sticks. That sticks. Ignore that one. I don't know what it was. There we go. 19 for Piper. Piper's coming in hot with some of these rolls. You get to have D10. Whatever you roll, you might need it. 12.
Okay.
Oh, you should have done something yourself. Yeah, you can do that there.
So, just consult some. No, that's what I want. Let me find the book that has the thing in it. Not that one. That's the one I want. Just give me a minute to check some stuff. As, believe it or not, I was not prepared for some of the things that were happening this session.
To be fair, Noah's opening up Piper halfway through the session.
Okay.
I need 3 new spells, I think.
Okay, so Klari, most of what you learn is about the potential dangers of traveling to the ethereal plane. It is not a plane that is well mapped or well known because of 2 key features. One is the ethereal mist that permeates the plane that can obscure the drifts and moves without wind or source, but can limit vision down to as little as 30 feet at a time, which makes it very difficult to navigate. And this is part of the reason it makes it so dangerous, is it's very difficult to see what are referred to as ether cyclones that move through the planes. Obscured by the mist, they can be made up of different colours of mist, and if you get caught in one, an ether cyclone has a chance to blow you into another plane of existence. The ethereal plane is...
What the fuck?
The ethereal plane is like the, for want of a better phrase, like the train station of planes. A lot of things can go through the ethereal plane.
You were so close. Airport.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been better, you're right. Yeah. I'm going to go with that one. The ethereal plane is like the airport of planes, where it can send you to a lot of different destinations.
Well done.
Thank you. You can have inspiration for that one as well.
Thank you.
If you haven't already got it. But yeah, that's what you learn about the ethereal plane. Piper, you are looking for... Oh no, Piper. Sorry, I've got this completely backwards. Piper is looking for information about the ethereal plane, and Klari is looking for information pertaining to artifacts. So Piper, you learn all that, and on top of that, you learn that you do manage to find a small amount about it, and you learn that Velenmore Island, you find like a copy of like a fragment of a map that someone once had. And Velenmore Island is called Eyes Island.
Eyes. Great.
Because of the beholders.
So we can teleport to Eyes Island. Like the entire time Piper's reading, he's like,
Island.
"What the fuck? And you guys want to go here? Fuck it. If you guys didn't save me from a massive green dragon, I would be already out of here, back to my lovely cuddle. But if I'm honest, don't really want to go back there anyway. There may have been some stealing. It's fine. So Clary can't find, but I find all of that.
So yeah, so that's what Stix. Sorry, that's what Piper finds. Clary, what you find with a 12, looking for information about artifacts related to it. All you find is part of what is in the collection of this library is like official transport records. There is a period of sort of 30 years where, kept in fastidiously neat detail, are the records of one particular official who deemed it necessary to record the trade of that period in extreme and excruciating detail, much to the chagrin of everyone else. But the only record among it's very long and very tedious reading. But you do find a record relating to a Lord Winchester who shipped a vast quantity of magical items, some magical items of, and there is a footnote here, of dubious authenticity to the Wizards College in Winstad for identification of their planar origins. So there is, so from that you can take away that there is potentially something like that possibly in the Wizards College in Winstad.
Okay.
But it is far. You feel it is far from concrete evidence of what you are looking for at this point in time. But that is how Piper and Clary get on before the sun goes down. You can see there are magical lamps in this place that have come on at this point in time to illuminate the location without the need for torches and open flames of that description. Yes, at this point we will go ahead to Stix and Arwen, who are at Lord Moxignier's. You've gone to his manse where you have been several times before, Stix, and have been welcomed inside by some staff. You have a few brief moments to yourselves before as a member of staff has gone to inform him of your arrival.
Have I been here?
I don't believe you've been here. It is a large, very large mansion house. There are, the gates themselves were beautifully ornately wrought, topped by small winged dragon gargoyles. The front door has a dragon door knocker on it.
Nice.
That's when you knock on the door. It's very heavy. It's a heavy sort of. It can easily be heard from a long distance away. yes, Stix having been here several times to have his spear upgraded, is recognised and permitted entry. You would recognise you would know the member of staff who escorts you inside. Here to see the master once more about more works.
Sort of. This is more something that might pique his interest in what he might know on a particular subject. We're potentially doing some traveling to some interesting places, and I'm hoping that he potentially knows a thing or two, or maybe has a thing or two from these places.
Mm-hmm. No problem. And he's like, yes, of course. Well, I shall inform you of your arrival.
Thank you very much.
So you guys have a few moments to yourselves before a couple of minutes later, Lord Montsignier appears. Appearing when you have met him. The first time you met him, Stix, he was recovering from an injury. And looked, a little bit. The previous times you've met him on the business of trade, and so he has looked very much his lordly self. This time when you meet him, he looks slightly different. You can see he's dressed for work. He comes out wearing, a plain white tunic with the sleeves rolled up past the elbow. He's got a leather apron on with various pockets and things all over it. You can see little the handles of various tools and things sticking out, and pushed up sort of like on top of his head, you can see there is a set of very intricate looking spectacles or goggles that have two main lenses, and then they have little like other lenses on arms that he can clearly like drop into place for various things. You can see some of them have different coloured lenses, and some of them look to be magnifying lenses.
Ooh, fancy.
But it comes out and keeps you in a gripping handshake once more. It's like, well, what is it I can do for you now, Stix, my lad? Haven't found any more of that Starfall metal already, have you?
Sadly, no. Always keeping my beady eyes out, but no, I haven't. We're here about another matter. Our adventures and attempt at keeping the world at peace are taking us to the ethereal plane. And as a man, a great collector, and a man of many interests such as yourself, I was possibly hoping you might know a thing or two about the place. Apparently we need a thing to get there. We need a thing from the material plane to be able to like teleport there. Would you know anything about this, or have anything we can use, or any information about the place at all would be pretty helpful.
Yeah, when you start talking about that, you see you get sort of a curious look on his face. Well, I'm not experienced with planar travel. My knowledge of magics is mainly surrounding the various enchantments and ways to manipulate materials and the like. I've not personally had any experience traveling across the plains, as interesting as that might be. In terms of, you said you need an item from where it is you're trying to go to?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you be a bit more specific? Do you need an item generally from that, sorry, do you say that plane of existence, or do you need it from a specific location you're trying to go to within there?
We need like an item, what was it, like attuned to that plane of existence so that you can teleport there?
Yeah, I think it's just from that plane.
Yeah, just from that plane, so that we can teleport there and yeah, make it there.
Okay.
Um,
He looks you over with a sort of discerning eye. It's like, sorry, what is it exactly you said you were needed this item for? Where is it you were planning on going again?
So there's a place. Well, it's all very, very complicated. Basically, spoiler alert, there's a big, terrible guy. You might have heard of him. The one that walks in shadow, Balsam. There's been lots of names been thrown out. The one behind all these undead attacks and yada, yada, yada. He is but a sort of like a warlock type dude who gets his powers from a patron. This patron is a big devil demon thing, and we need to sever the tether that they have to each other so that he is powerless, and therefore we can beat him easier. In order to do this, we need to create a weapon that can be able to do this, and in order to do that, we need the essence of a thing called a spectatrice, whatever the fuck that is, some weird ethereal thing with eyes. We need to get that, defeat it, or whatever one of those, get its essence, bring it back, put that essence in a blade, use another machine to see the tether, be able to see the physical tether that's there, and then cut that tether so that he is no longer tethered to his patron. He is powerless. I use your spear, and we just stab the shit out of him. Problem solved. Basically.
Right, that was a lot. What I'm hearing is you need a weapon at some point that you may or may not already have, and you need to travel to the ethereal plane first.
Yes.
Right. Let's see. Make a persuasion check for me, Stix, at this point.
Persuasion is plus 10, thanks to my charisma. 23.
Well, I mean, you seem like a decent bunch of you. Many thanks to you again for the work you put in saving my life. I might have something that I will need to go and well, you might need to, I mean, I can't really check it over, but I've got something that is valuable and strange that all I know is not of this plane. It's got this weird essence to it. It's quite a piece in my collection. I'd be willing to rent it to you for a time.
Right.
It's not something that I want to give up, but I'd be willing to loan it to you for a fee for your quest.
What is it and how much?
Oh.
Hold on, just give me a few minutes. I'll I'll be back, and he as he sort of he turns around, he pulls out from one pocket like a small bell and rings it, and you can see from out of a side door that one of these servants appears. He's like, I'll take my guests into my study and bring them a cup of tea or anything like that. I need to go and look at my collection. I will be back shortly. There's an item in there I need to retrieve from it. And he heads off, rather than heading sort of back into the back of the building where you presume he's come from with some sort of workshop. He heads towards a set of stairs and begins heading down out of the out down below the level of the mansion. His servant comes towards you. He's like, well, as his lordship said, please follow me. Is there anything you'd like to eat, to drink? Wine, tea? Are you hungry? What can I get you?
Just some tea will be fine for the minute, thank you. Just while we wait for his lordship.
And for yourself?
Some tea and then some bacon for Hugo, please.
Of course.
Hugo, share the bacon with me.
Yeah. So you you are escorted into a very grand looking study. Stix, you've been here before as well. Various fine furnishings and things scattered around. In short order, drinks, tea. A cup of like a tray is brought up. A very fine, like silver tray with a teapot and everything, and teacups and everything like that. A little later, someone else returns with a large. It's like very thickly cut, like bacon, like American bacon. It's very thick slice, but you can see Hugo notices it arriving maybe sort of 30 seconds before it does. His head swivels towards the door, and when it opens, the aroma of cooked meat reaches you, but it is quite a timid looking servant. Sort of lays it down, and then Hugo goes to town on the bacon.
He's very good. He waits until the servant has put it down and then walked back 2 places, and then he's like, ow.
Head shoots out like a viper.
Yeah.
Gulps down bacon. Bit like you see crocodiles doing. Barely any chewing. But yeah. And you guys are left alone again. You end up waiting quite a long time.
Does he run away?
You are left there for a good 40 minutes. An hour goes by, and you can see you end up marking time by the sun's movement across and the shadows movement across the floor. In this, starting to wonder what could be taking so long.
When big dogs are so used to curling up on their owners when they're small that even when they're massive, they still want to just get on your lap. Yeah, Hugo's tired now, so it's been an hour. He's on my lap.
Okay.
But then half of his leg and tail are on Stix.
Yeah, like every time he sort of shifts, there's a concerning sort of creak of wood from this very nice chair that you're sat in. Yeah, but yeah, you guys have been waiting a while now. Is there anything you'd like to discuss while you wait?
No. I Stix would comment a little bit and ask how Hugo's getting really a lot bigger. Can he do anything extra now? Can he properly can you like properly breathe acid now, like a dragon, or you still just spitting things?
Can he? I don't think he can. Oh, he can. Oh my god, he can. Oh my god, I'm so proud of him. He can do little acids. Just a little play.
Little acids.
Little acids.
I love it. Little acids. I love it.
I'm very proud of him.
But no, otherwise, just sort of catching, slowly coming to realize that, like, I'm assuming, like, you know, as we like catch up a little more about our time away, slowly come to realize that Arwen had this like chill time off with like Matilda and stuff, while Stix has spent the last 6 months like training on Aramis and waking up at like, sunrise and training with his spear and like proper like what the like karate like no, not karate kid, what's it called, like fucking
The only training
boxer
montage I can
Rocky.
think.
Rocky, yeah, like proper Rocky.
I was thinking, you know, in Incredibles when he's like pulling a train, and that's all I can think of.
That was the best training montage as a kid. That's
I don't watch many films.
Yeah, that was great as a kid. Yeah, like proper like that, and then he's like, "So what did you get up to?" And you're just like, "Yeah, just chilled out."
Learn how to speak dragon. Sat and drank.
Can you read yet?
No.
Can you? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought maybe for a minute you'd done something productive. I'm kidding. We all need
And
time
where
off.
does
To be
Arwen
fair,
hide the body?
Is there like a suit of armor, like a decorative suit of armor?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Vintage stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Shove them in there.
and this is why we brought Piper in, because Stix dies now. Now, yeah, just I guess catching up with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Yeah, so you know, it is like about an hour or so passes by the time the door is pushed open and the dwarven figure of Lord Monsignor enters. You can see he's changed his appearance. He's no longer wearing his sort of like work attire. You can see he's much more lordly dressed in a sort of like a fine navy blue and silver tunic once more.
Costume change.
But yes, he.
Is that why it took so long? He was trying to pick an outfit.
Does Arwen say that or
No.
okay? Never know, you know. Just have to double check these things. He comes in and he's holding a small, like ornate wooden box with some like fine sort of like faint sort of like whitish sort of like silvery stone sort of like trim inlaid in the top. And he comes, my apologies, it's many security measures on my possessions and that need disabling and reactivating properly to ensure its protection.
right? Yeah, no worries. This seems like a rather intense thing we're about to do. So yeah,
And so he
no worries.
places his box on the surface and opens it up, and inside, inlaid in like a case of like green velvet, is this small it's this small yellow, sort of yellowy green crystal, and you can see there is a as he like picks it up, there is almost like a pulse from within the crystal. Nothing happens, but both of you sort of feel the thrum of magic as it pulses. This is an item I believe has come from where it is you desire to go to, but it's rare and valuable. The individual who acquired it from said it came from this strange field of crystals that
Strange.
created all sorts of magical disturbances and things. I believe, having removed it from its plane, it's lost some of its potency, which is disappointing, but it is still a fine piece in my collection. As I said, I would very much like to have this back when you return.
Okie dokie. Yes, absolutely.
Your, lack of return, I hope you don't mind if I insist on some kind of deposit for to be returned to you, of course, upon your safe return.
Absolutely. Name your price. I appreciate this is well, probably a rather rare artifact. So,
as I'm sure you understand, I am a collector of sorts, and well, gold is good, and gold works for many things. If you had something of value to offer in trade as well, that might supplement my collection, should you meet an unfortunate demise, I would be more appreciative. Alternatively, if you don't have such an item, then gold is always useful. You can never have enough of that.
I have a thought, and I want to go over it with you first. So, I'm assuming if Piper's going to be plane shifting everyone there,
yeah,
I'm assuming I'm playing Piper for that bit.
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? Plane shift is a spell that allows you to send other people to planes. For simplicity's sake, I was going to have Piper send you guys, which makes it easier for me to balance the things I've already come up with and things like that. And so you're not trying to... If you would prefer, then we can come up with a reason for Piper to go and Stix to stay behind. If
this
you were
is going to be
thinking of something along those lines.
Because obviously plane shift says you and
for the sake of the narrative, because plane shift also allows you to force another person to go, I was gonna just be like, he can send you without having to go himself.
And bring us back.
Right. Okay.
That would be up to
Never
you.
mind. I was.
We need him because we need to come back.
Oh yeah. We need to come back. And without Piper, you won't be able to
drop us
get
in
back.
Yeah, there are ways out of that. Like I said, there are ether cyclones that can send you to other planes of existence.
Excellent, good.
That doesn't fucking help us, because it could also send us all to different ones. Oh god.
Hey,
I mean,
there's like a, like a 1 in 8 chance that it would send you to the right one.
We don't know this information, because this is because my thinking was that if say Piper had to do that, then obviously I'd probably say that I would play Piper and Stix would go off and do another thing, and then blah 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 blah.
I mean,
and therefore, if he went off and did another thing, he would offer up his spear and be like, I trust these people. To have this back, because while they're off doing that thing, I'm going to go and do this thing, which maybe doesn't need my spear or whatever. I don't know.
Realistically, like in real time, how many sessions is being in the place gonna take? Roughly.
With this, I really don't know, because you guys have massively messed with my timeline of events by having someone that can, and spending the time to look into it, by having someone that can essentially jump you to the end. Because my idea was, peek behind the curtain, you guys will take Regis' thing, you'll be plonked in the middle, you'll have to travel through the ethereal plane and all the fun stuff that entails. You get to the end, you do the thing at the end to fight the thing, you kill the thing, depending on which way you go, whether you go up or down, and you go through all that. You guys are skipping a lot of that chunk in the middle, so I'm not really sure.
We put in the code for like level 7, level 10 level game.
If we just bring both, just for like...
Basically, I don't want to run both for simplicity's sake.
Okay.
I think it's just for the sake of this, like, I know it's a bit screwy with the narrative, like Stix realistically wouldn't just let them go, but...
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't mind playing 2 characters. I know both characters very, very well, but at the same time, I understand that would take a while, and it's very awkward already playing 2.
We had a brief period with a couple of guys running 2 characters, and it got a bit boggy in my opinion, with people trying to do 2 things at once and sort of. So I'd like to try and keep it to 1 each.
Yeah. And I mean, there's plenty of.
Like if that is the route you would like to go, then Stix can offer up his spear for collateral this time, and we can say he is spending his time looking into weapons and things like that, and I'll try and come up with some stuff for that. As I'm saying, I'm going to need all of that sort of stuff sooner, like the Shard of Terminus and various other potential religious like artifacts. Seems like a good place for Stix to start.
Well, yeah, this is my thing of like, I was thinking, while then they would do that. So, okay, so in going back into the session, I think Stix would say, okay, that is perfectly reasonable. Thank you very, very much. We need to speak to our friends about what we're potentially going to give you, Lord. We'll be back in like a few minutes. Well, like a couple of hours. Sorry, BRB. And then I think Stix would go.
I will lock this away, and I will see you tomorrow.
Yes. See you tomorrow. That's perfectly fine. And then I think Stix would want to gather up and talk this over, and basically ask you guys' opinion. Essentially, who would you rather be there, Piper or Stix? I am perfectly easy either way. I'm more than happy to play either person. Would you rather a wacky Healy boy or a magic person?
I mean, I'd prefer...
If you guys have strong opinions about it and you'd really, would like everyone to be there, then we can, we can run that, that extra person in the party, you're happy to play it. It's just my thinking was my assumption was that Stix would go, and so it would be easy to say, Piper thinks that sounds intimidating, and he'll send you, and Piper sending you seemed like an easy solution to not have him too involved. If you really want him to be, he can be, and you guys, the 5 of you, Piper, Stix, Klari, Arwen, Hugo, all 5 of you can be a party of 5. I'll need to rework a few things, and I'll need to. I've got a lot to work on. Anyways, you guys have. Looks like you're going to neatly exercise the middle of this arc. But I'm sure you know this feeling. I don't like it. The players just go, "Oh yeah, we see that story you've crafted." Bin. We're going this way.
Well, yeah. Like, you guys skipping out on all the just getting a wizard to teleport you to the prison island rather than going through the naval fight and going through the whole thing of going over the island and yada yada yada. Yeah. So yeah, I mean I'm easy. I guess this is the compromise that we've got to think of. Piper can get us back.
Yeah.
So Piper can just, as long as he saves up a level spell, which he will do because his 7th level spells are Plane Shift and another fun spell, which I'm not going to tell you about, but it won't be used for magic.
Look at that sheet later on. I really what's going on there.
I haven't added anything to sheets yet because it's just awkward to do while we're playing. But I'll tell you about it afterwards because I'd like to discuss
get them
it.
all updated in the week while I frantically. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if you feel strongly about it, like, if you want to go with 5, then.
But yeah, so yeah, obviously, like Piper can get
5.
us back. Stix, and Stix can whack and heal.
Yeah.
Piper can still heal, but he only has healing word and mass healing word. But then Piper can bring people back from the dead, so it's not bad. Choose.
It kind of sounds to me like you guys would all like Stix to be there.
I want Stix to be there.
Yeah, I think same for Klari.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will. We'll run it with that, and Ben might just need 2 different coloured hats, depending on who's doing the speaking.
No, it's fine because Piper does a lot of this.
Yeah, we'll. I mean, JJ, if you wanted to, I could make. Could we do a thing where I make like a temporary, like sidekick, stat block for Piper? So we make him a quote unquote sidekick character, but with the plane shift spell.
I mean, in essence, where are the sidekick rules? He's not gonna. I mean, the thing is mainly about him is that spell casting. Where is sidekick rules? Sidekicks 142. Because the only thing I'm worried about is sort of making him a traditional sidekick. Yeah, is they don't get 7th level spell slots, so it becomes.
They don't, but
So
my thinking
so making him like a pure sidekick would be a challenge. So you might as well just have him be Piper, and a bit like when I end up running Mazzy for, when Matt's not there, just be cognizant of, it's a second character and try not to deliberate too long, over things in combat, but.
No, don't. He's like, he doesn't have a lot of combat options, so it's fairly simple.
Yeah. I suppose at the end of the day as well, it's someone else to potentially die, and if he dies and you'll get stuck there, then
he's the new Neo.
Oh, that's an insult to Neo.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. Obviously, I'm happy playing 2 people. I just don't want to put too much work on you, obviously, JJ, and don't want to put.
I mean, most of the work comes because you have chopped. If you guys, you guys are going to go straight to Eyes Island, so you have neatly chopped out a middle section. So yeah, you need to put in some work there that I wasn't anticipating. Or just sooner than I was anticipating.
Oh, I get 2 people. I think I'll probably get for the majority because Piper's like the quote unquote outsider.
Yeah.
I'll probably like majority play Stix, like role play as Stix, and Piper will just be there in the background, like.
Yeah.
Like how I do Hugo sometimes. Like, oh, by the way, he's just gonna
be cute,
be weird.
Yeah. Or or like how JJ used to do, like Neo, where we just sort of like assume he's there and doing stuff and saying things. He has an intelligence of 0 and the same charisma as Stix. He's fine.
He's an intelligence of +0. That's an important distinction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because an intelligence of 0 puts you in a coma.
Indeed. But yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, you guys just need to figure out what you're going to offer up as collateral between you all.
Yeah. In that case, he's not giving away his sword. How much gold would he want if we were going to suggest gold? Or
he didn't say. It would kind of be up to you. Got the sense that it would sort of be up to you to make an offer, and given your short history with him, you know that it would probably need to be. It would be a careful balance of substantial enough to not be insulting him, as he seems quite prideful as a lord.
I hate having to offer things. It's literally the worst.
Yeah.
Why can't you just tell me what
Could I offer him?
A squishy.
Could I offer him my armband protection?
Your armband of critical protection. Yeah.
Yes.
So dialing back a little bit, you guys are still there. He takes it. He looks at it. He pulls out the little spectacles he had from an inside pocket, puts them on, flips like a couple of lenses down, and looks at this and says, "Well, this is fine stuff, dwarven made. Very nice. Yes, this will make a fine addition. This will do nicely. I will maybe able to learn a thing or two from this. I shall hang on to it until your return."
Cool. There we go. Take the thing. Thank you very, very much. Give to Piper. I guess. Yeah.
Go back to that.
Are we teleporting now? Are we? Is it good? I feel like we should probably prepare, especially as Piper.
Now, as it is the same day, and Piper has already used his plane shift.
I thought you said that we were going to pick honor.
Yeah, and then because you guys wanted to sort of discuss it, and then because you were there and we decided that Stix was going to go, I wound back a little bit to just say.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's gone.
In which case, we don't. Piper freaks the fuck out to everybody about plane shifting cyclones and terror.
Oh no. Oh no. Yes, the connection has been restored. Excellent.
Good.
Okay, so you guys return. You all meet up back at the house and can share the various information and things you've got. You now have this yellow crystal shard that you can use to teleport to the ethereal to plane shift to the ethereal plane. Regis will provide one of you with the essence flask. One of you can make a note of that in your inventory.
I'll put it in the party bag. What are you laughing at? Why are you laughing at my party bag?
Because you call it a party bag, and I think it's funny.
Insulting my mom.
It's like when you're a kid and you get a party bag from like someone's birthday.
What is it?
It's called an essence flask.
Oh. Essence. That'll do.
It's almost about right.
Yeah.
And I put the Imperial Plane Crystal on paper.
You can make any other preparations anyone would like to make, any supplies, things like that.
Is it cold or warm there?
Based on what Piper learned, climate can vary, obviously depending on like mountainous terrain and stuff like that, but generally it follows the same patterns. You guys are going quite far south, so it should be reasonably warm.
Okay. Oh,
Cool.
We'll be fine with what she's wearing.
Yeah, it's mainly if there's any any items you want to sell before you go, any items you want to try and purchase before you go, any equipment, sort of mundane equipment you want to pick up, those sorts of things.
Can Piper pick up, just really, really quickly, any like improvements to his studded leather? He can wear it under his jacket, like a magical set or something. He has 2,000 gold to spend.
Yeah, you could probably. You could probably go and rebuy the set that Stix sold. Do probably one of the.
Just return. Stix is like, I swear I've seen that set of.
Yeah, probably like if Piper said he was looking for some upgrades or something, like some better equipment. Stix would be like, oh yeah, I sold my thing to this guy on this street, and so Piper can go and like pick it up.
I like it more if you just happened across it.
Oh, okay,
just accidentally.
You just turned up.
Look at that.
Yeah. I say it's +1 armor, so sell it for half price, so it would be 1,000 gold to Piper to buy it back.
Sweet. Cool. Piper has 18 AC.
Okay.
You can do blade flourish stuff. That's Piper, because I think his scimitars were already magical, weren't they? They had a magic thing.
Were they?
Didn't I believe
moon touched blade, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that like they just light up. That's all they do.
So they are magical weapons, but they don't confer a magical bonus. Is that right? Is that all he had?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. That was his glamour weave coat.
Yeah, he had flashy items for decorativeness rather than
efficiency.
Yes, because he is a fancy bard. Are they in this book?
Also, I don't know if you remember, but on my sheet I've just got written down mysterious wand.
Mysterious wand.
Yes. I don't know if you remember any of that.
That was from the dragon's lair, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, was that the wand of magic mist?
No, I believe you lost that. Did he get was there a wand of fireworks? Is that a thing?
Oh, like wand of pyrotechnics.
Yes, wand of pyrotechnics. That's a thing, isn't it?
That's it.
1 to 7 charges while holding it, you can expend it to make a harmless burst of multicolored light at a point you can see 60 feet away. The light is accompanied by a crackling noise that can be heard up to 300 feet away. The light is bright as a torch flame but only lasts a second. Yes, he grabbed the wand of pyrotechnics. Was one of the things he grabbed.
Cool.
I think we'll go with that.
I'm pretty sure that was
a good Piper item as well. I thought like flashing lights and noise seemed very in tune with his aesthetic.
And also, because he's not entirely sure that people are going to heal him, can he just pick up like a couple of healing potions? And also as like a what do you call it when you feel bad about being a dick, so you give something to people as a
Gesture
peace
of
offering?
goodwill.
Yeah, peace offering.
Wait, no.
Peace offering.
Yeah, you're right.
Peace offering. Can I pick up any
Yeah.
health potion?
Yeah. So you can pick up a couple of regular ones for 50 gold apiece, and then a greater one as well for 150 gold if you are so inclined.
Cool. So that'll be 350 gold.
250 gold.
250 gold. I know maths. That'll be 1,190. 90 gold he's got left, but he has a healing potion and a greater healing potion. Thank you. Piper's done. Stix doesn't need anything. He's got a badass spear.
Cool. Anything for anyone else?
All good.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think I should call an end to proceedings there. Pick this up next time as you guys jump into the ethereal plane and find out what trouble you land yourselves in.
Indeed.
Yeah, and
I'm very excited.
See where we end up prep-wise, because I got a lot of work to do now.
No.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a lot of fun either way. And if not, then I'll just have to wing it like I did a lot of this. So I don't think that way. It'll be fine.